Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope we're all well. I hope we're all safe, and I hope we're doing okay. You're welcome to another edition of the Jobberman seminar, Jobberman series training. Okay, so just before we go on, we're going to I'm quickly going to go through what we have today. However, I'm going to talk about, Jobberman. I must introduce Jobberman. Okay, so this is a monthly online event we host in the Leading Women group, and we hope you can share this link to your friends, your family, your sisters, any lady you want to benefit from this. Okay, so please, while I do the introductions, please share the link with everyone. Okay, so I'm going to quickly talk about Jobberman. Jobberman is the #1 online recruitment platform in Nigeria. That's a given. We have a database of over 2 million active job seekers and 60,000 plus employers. I mean, you can't beat that. And now this is also brought to you by the Jobberman Youth Engagement Arm. Okay, our goal is mainly to upskill a minimum of 5 million young people and place 3 million of them in dignified work within the next 5 years. And how do we achieve this? We're currently providing free soft skills training. Okay, so if you're here, if you're listening to this and you know you want to be a part of this, it is completely free. Just sign up on Jobberman. Go to jobberman.com/soft skills and you could be a part of this. My name is Chidima Iheanacho, by the way. If I didn't introduce myself at the beginning, I'm the Senior Youth Engagement Associate at Jobberman, and I have two wonderful ladies who will be joining us for this session. Okay, so I'll quickly go on to a webinar outline for today. I will be introducing our guest speakers. We'll go straight on to the panel session. So today's session is going to be interactive, right? We're going to have a panel session. We're going to just, it's going to be like a Q&A session where we can engage. So trust me, you do not want to miss this. Okay, then we take questions from participants, and I'll go right on to end the event. Okay, so let me quickly introduce one of our guest speakers. So we're going to have Funmi Omo joining us shortly. She is the founder of the Funmi Omo Initiative and Insurance Business, okay, under African Alliance Insurance. So we have the pleasure and honor of having her join us for this event. Our second guest speaker, can we move on to the next slide, please? Is Simi Nwogwugwu. Okay, she is the executive director of Junior Achievement Nigeria. Okay, we're going to have these two awesome ladies join us shortly. So if we can have them come on board, we can take this event to the next session. Thank you very much. Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Funmi and Simi. Oh, we can hear you. Can you check your audio? I'm not sure if it's
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Fantastic. Yes, we can hear you. Yes. Thank you so much, Simi and Funmi, for obliging us, to be a part of this. We are honored and pleased to have you here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Okay, so this is just going to be an interactive session. We have a series of questions we'll ask. We're talking about this is the 2020 career woman, so we're just going to dive right into it. We're going to dive right into it. Let me start. Okay, let me start with Funmi. Okay, I would just go right ahead and ask the first question. How has your career evolved so far? What has been the most pivotal moment in your career, and how can young women learn from that? So maybe you could just start by giving us some background story into how your career has been, lessons learned, and things like that. So Funmi, please go right ahead.
I think she's frozen.
Oh, network. The network gods should please be on our side. Okay, so maybe Simi, you can go right ahead. But I mean, anyone can actually go first. Anyone of you. So
do you
let's
want
have
me
you
to go
go
ahead
on
while
while we
we're
wait for
waiting for
Simi
her?
for Funmi to come back. So please
Okay.
just go right on with the question.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Again, thank you for having me. And the question was, what are the pivotal moments in my career? I believe there's been
Yes.
three. There's been three pivotal moments. Like most people who grow up, recognized as brilliant or something in Nigeria. I was going for, medicine or law in university when I first moved to the US for my university degree, and quickly found out that I didn't want to do either. So it left me with the question of, okay, so then what do I want to do? And I just started doing different internships. So that's one thing that I would definitely advocate for any young women who are still in university trying to figure themselves out, to do as many internships as possible. I did a lot of internships in college. And I remember the one that was really pivotal for me was an internship I did at a consulting firm called McKinsey. I believe they're now in Nigeria. So
Yes.
then I did a summer program at McKinsey, and it really opened my eyes. Prior to that, business had never been, or consulting had never been something that I thought about. It was either, oh, should I do medicine? Should I do law? Professional degrees. But McKinsey really helped me understand that I loved solving problems. I loved strategy. I loved just business management. And they sent me all the interns that year. They sent us to a 1 week program at the Harvard Business School, and that even opened my eyes further, like, it really helped me understand what I wanted to do, and helped me see that business wasn't about, growing up in Nigeria, I thought business was, those businessmen that carry their briefcases to Abuja for contracts and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
helped me see that business was a lot more about that business could be socially responsible, solving problems in society, employing people, creating wealth, and things like that. And so I think that was a huge pivotal moment for me and made me realize that I wanted to do consulting. I wanted to do something in strategy, and I wanted to do business management. And so that led to, and of course, Goldman Sachs came that summer and recruited all, most of the interns away from McKinsey. Then McKinsey and Goldman had this rivalry in the US. So I ended up taking a full time job at Goldman after I graduated university. And that was where my second pivotal moment came. While I was working at Goldman, I started volunteering for an organization called Junior Achievement New York, and would go into classrooms to teach young people about business. And I realized that, if I'd had this when I was growing up, I would have known sooner. I wouldn't have been thinking about medicine law. I would have known sooner that I loved business management. I loved the ability to impact people and learn about social responsibility. And so I spoke to somebody about that, and they're like, oh, it's a global organization. We can take it to Nigeria if you wanted to. And so
Mm.
that sort of created a path where I started talking to JA about bringing them to Nigeria, and I ended up doing that, ran it for 3 years, and then went back to
Wow.
school for business school at HBS. And then the third and final pivotal moment came years later in New York. I was working and running my own entrepreneurship executive coaching firm, and really loving it, and also trying to decide, do we move back to Nigeria, do we not? My husband just got a job in Nigeria, and at the same time Harvard Business School called me and said they wanted to do a case on me, a video case, which meant that they would have a video crew, and people following me around for about, I thought it was going to be about a month. It ended up being about 6 months off and on,
Wow.
in which case they even followed me to Nigeria, because at the time I was trying to decide, okay, my husband had
Wow.
moved, how do we move? I have this business I'm running in New York. And they asked me a lot of questions about what was important to me, about family versus work. And so that really brought into sharp focus what was important to me, what impact I wanted to create. That I really loved my junior achievement job, and I wanted to come back and be involved with it. And I came back, made the decision to come back, joined the board, brought my consulting firm to Nigeria, and knew that I wanted to be part of creating solutions in Nigeria. So those
Mm.
are the three pivotal moments that really shaped my career. In terms of what young people can learn, I've talked about internships. Like I discovered a lot about myself through the various internships that I participated in. And then for professional women or younger professionals trying to figure out what they can learn from this, is have a vision. What is the impact that you want your life to have? What is the
Mm.
purpose that you want to create on society? And once you write down that vision, every time an opportunity comes, you weigh it against the vision to say, does it play into it, or does it distract from it, or do you need to make
Mm.
adjustments to the vision? And that will help you in deciding your next steps.
Thank you so much, Simi. That's so profound. Funmi, we can see you're back. I'm sure you were probably having some internet issues. We can only pray that internet will favor us while we have this
Amen.
online session. Okay. So thank you, Simi, for going on with the answer. So Funmi, I don't know if you got the question before you were thrown off.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the question before I dropped off. So maybe you want to
Okay.
recap. Yeah.
Okay, okay, no problem. I'll just go over it again. So basically, the question was, how far has your career evolved? And from the angle I asked it from what has been that most pivotal moment in your career, and how can young ladies learn from it? What are those points, or what informed your career decision or your career choice, and what lessons can young ladies learn from that?
Okay, thank you very much. I have been asked this question a couple of times, and each time I have to respond to this question, it takes me back memory lane. I started out by studying insurance, but that wasn't really my intention as I got into the university. Initially, I
Mm,
wanted to study accounting, and for some reason, I got selected for insurance. And at that time, insurance was relatively new. So, to my mind, I kept wondering what it was all about, and I was very skeptical. There was a lot of anxiety, and I recall the decision point. I actually went to school and I took my mom with me. So I
mm,
met with the administrator of the department then, Unilag, and he said to me, "Okay, Funmi, you don't know so much about insurance, but can I tell you something? Why don't you come in and do 1 year? After 1 year, if we are not sure you want to go on with it, then you make a different choice." And that's how the whole journey started. And I started the journey, and at the end of the first year, I found it one novel, interesting, and somehow it connected with what I really desired, which was to impact one way or the other. So I just said
mm,
to myself, I think I take this on. And that's how I graduated and graduated in insurance. Fast track to when I started work. At that time, a lot of my classmates opted for other career choices. And so I was caught up in a web. Do I go on with this or do I do
mm,
something else? A lot of people wanted to go into banking then. But
mm,
I said to myself, if I've gone this far as to get educated in insurance and it's relatively new, why don't I explore the opportunities that it holds? And today, 30 years after starting work, I'm still in insurance, loving it, enjoying it, and I have the honor of being able to lead my team in the capacity of a managing director. And I'm grateful to God. So, in terms of career choice, I would say I stumbled on this, but I
mm.
had the opportunity to retract. So, what is the moral? I think you are faced with choices at different times of your life, but just
Certainly.
yes, you now need to ask yourself, what do you want for yourself? What goals are you setting for yourself? How can you connect with that and make that choice and decide to go on with the choice and keep being dogged, even in the face of adversity and different conditions that may not necessarily be conditions that will make the environment comfortable for you to thrive in. And that's where I want to stop for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, you've just given a very profound, response to that. And my next question will just be a spin-off from that, most especially for young ladies, for women. What is your take on finding the right career path? I know a lot of ladies will feel, oh, this is not for, most especially, when it comes to certain lines, or say, oh, women are not you hardly see, for those career paths where you hardly see women involved in. Okay, so how would you advise a young lady who's actually willing to explore, certain career path that's probably not the norm? What is it? So should we, I just want to know, just hear your take on encouraging or advising ladies on taking that career path they actually want to do, or should they adapt to what society expects or family? So what would you advise a young lady who is willing to explore, probably who wants to follow her heart, or as against following, doing something, maybe marry, considering her husband or family or children? Should she put her choices first, or should she think of, what the society or family expects. Yeah.
What I always say to people is the only way you can make a difference is do things differently.
Hmm.
And so
Certainly.
you need to start out by identifying what you can do differently and asking yourself, in doing this, would I find fulfillment?
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be what is popular. It doesn't want have to be what is the norm, but certainly it has to, first of all, connect with your being and your
Hmm.
person. The second thing is to be very sure of yourself and to know that there's nothing that you cannot achieve.
Hmm.
Once your mind can think it, you definitely can achieve it. And it is with that firm belief that the journey starts. Of course, as you go on in the journey, you have moments. And that's the reason why, for young aspiring ladies, I always advise get a mentor,
Hmm.
have a role model.
Certainly.
These are people that have either walked the journey before or have insights as to what the journey is like. And they can hold your arm as you journey along. There's no point to inventing the wheel, and there's no reason for you not to learn from the mistakes of others. Mistakes are genuine, but as you go on, you want to be able to leverage on the learnings of others, even as you make your own mistakes
Hmm.
and you learn from it. So, the first thing I would say to any young woman is, what do you want?
Hmm.
Be very firm about what you want and believe that you can achieve it. Whatever your mind sets to do, be sure that you can do it. Also, find a support system, find good mentors, people who have walked the journey before, and you can leverage on the insights and their learnings, people who can hold your arm and you can
Hmm.
work that journey together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Simi, do you have any take on that question? What would you, on
Yes,
the advising young people? Please go
I
ahead.
agree with Ms. Omar. She made some fantastic comments that I agree with 100%. I think, young ladies today are very hardworking, and I would just implore you that you work hard. You put your head down and you work hard. Especially before marriage and children, you really want to make your mistakes now, while you're single and young, and in making the mistakes, discover yourself, what you like, what you don't like. What Ms. Omar said about what do you want. Some of us don't, some of us from age 5, we know what we want. We've seen it, we've done it, and we're aiming for it. And some of us really don't know. We don't know what so it would take a lot of internships, exploration, mistakes, and things to really find out who you are and what you want and what impact you want to create in society. So I would definitely encourage you to find out what you want, as you said, and whatever jobs you're able to get now, to work hard and develop the experience. I think a lot of us want a lot now. We want to blow, we want to hammer, we want to have the nice car, house, all of that. But it takes time to develop good experience. It takes time to develop expertise. You
Yes.
want to be known for something. You want people to be able to say, okay, if you need this done, Simi is your person. So develop
Mm.
an expertise in an area,
Mm.
where people go to you. So you become, somebody they can't let go of. So when it's time to negotiate for a promotion, a raise, they don't want to lose you. But it
Yeah.
takes time to develop that expertise and
Mm.
really become that person. So you know that when you're leaving for a higher step, because you will be
Mm-hmm.
able to create.
Yes.
I said earlier, write down the vision for that you want, and weigh every opportunity to see how it maps to that vision. And I completely agree with finding a mentor, A lot of young people I don't know who don't know me, approach me and say, "Please, will you be my mentor?" I really disagree with that approach. I think your mentors should come from people you know, have a relationship with, and you admire, so that they can tell you where you're doing it right and where you're doing it wrong. You can
Mm,
have role models. That's a different thing, where it's somebody you don't know but you admire from afar, and you're studying them and you're wanting to be like them, and that's great, but that's not your mentor. Your mentor should be somebody who's available to you, that can correct you when you're going wrong and can give you feedback on your career, on the vision. So make sure you don't conflict the two, because you might be going to somebody who's too busy, too popular, to be an effective mentor. Go for somebody
true.
who is available to you and can advise you in your career.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just before we go on, let me just inform people, if you have questions, please drop your questions in the comments. We'll be flashing the questions as we go on. So I can already see one or two questions there. But please, if you have any questions for our guest speakers, please drop your questions in the comment section and we'll be happy to, answer your questions. Okay, so let's just talk about mistakes. I know you mentioned something about mistakes. What are the most common mistakes young people, especially ladies, make? If you have a personal experience to share, we'll be happy to hear. So let me put that to Funmi Omo first. Do you have any, what can you identify as, some common mistakes probably you've heard from, young ladies out there, or if you have a personal experience you want to share, please share with us.
Okay, thank you very much. I will share a personal experience, but before I share the personal experience, I'll touch a bit on the mistakes that young ladies often make. And Simi touched on it when she was speaking. As a young lady, you need to, first of all, keep your head very low and be ready to learn. Humility is a hallmark, and no matter what it is you need to understand the fact that there's always something to learn. So, thinking you are smart is not a reason to have an air of arrogance. So, you need to keep your head low to be able to pick as much as possible. You need to be open to learning. And that's why I also align with what Stephen mentioned about trainings, internships. It's all about learning. And this is
Hmm.
the mistake young people often make. You know a bit and you feel you know everything. So you need to be able to keep your head low. You also need to understand that you have to learn. And make your mistakes when you're young, much younger. Try your hands on a few things to really discover yourself. I'll tell you a mistake I had made earlier in terms of learning. Um, and that's the reason why, just like Simi said, a few things you can do just before you get married, do it, because when you get married and you start to have kids, you have competing needs and you need to strike a balance. And so
Hmm.
I had registered for a master's program and I just got married. And soon after getting married, I got pregnant. So initially, I started to go for lectures. At that time, there was nothing like virtual learning anyway, so you had to be in
Hmm.
class. But then the pressure came. I do the master's program. After it was an 18-month program, and I did just 12 out of the 18 months, and I went to have the baby, and I didn't go back. And it took me almost 5 years to go back, and I had to start all over again.
Hmm.
And for me, that was a big lesson.
Hmm.
So I said to the young ones, once you set your goals, try and put things in perspective and ensure that what helped me was the fact that I never give up. And so even after 5 years, I was humble enough to start all over again. And that required having to resolve it in my mind and with a lot of advice,
mm,
because then I knew that it was going to help to leverage my career. If that hadn't happened, I would not have done it. My mistake was, why didn't I finish it? And so, for young ladies, I tell you, mistakes are allowed. But you know, when you fall down, you rise again and you continue on your journey.
mm,
And that's why I can say
mm,
to the young ones that please keep your head low, be very humble, learn as much as you can, a lot of trainings, and also mistakes are allowed. But please don't wallow in your mistake. Wake
mm,
up, rise up, and continue the journey, because life
mm,
is a process. And
mm,
at just several stages in the process, in the journey, life happens. But what then do
mm,
you do as life happens?
mm,
You don't give up on life, you continue. And that's the hallmark of success.
mm. Thank you so much. Well, I have a spin off from your response. You said keep your head low. Certainly, it's good to be humble, but how do we draw the line? You know, we say most times, yeah, ladies don't make noise, don't. But some people get so timid, they don't know when to speak up. So how do you draw the line, from being humble? Oh, those ladies should be seen, not heard. Because there's sometimes you actually need to speak up. Especially
Yes,
now in this era of social media, and we have a lot of, people out there. Sometimes if you don't put yourself out there, nobody will. So how do we balance? What's that sweet spot between, yes, being humble, but
you
just
already
speaking out for
said it.
yourself?
It's about one balance. And it's a very thin line. And that's the reason why you need a bit of emotional intelligence to be able
Mm,
to manage that space. So you can be assertive, hmm, without being arrogant.
mm,
You can be firm and confident without being loud.
mm,
It's about knowing how to respond to situations and not to react to situations. So there's a space for everything, and that's where knowledge comes in and being emotionally intelligent. So you
mm,
need to be able to speak and speak well. You can also have a voice without being loud, without being lousy, without being arrogant.
mm-hmm.
It's just knowing the difference. And
True.
that's where you begin to pick up the skills. In this part of the world, because of culture, there's a tendency, especially for women,
Thank you.
to think, yeah, especially for women, to think
Mm-hmm.
that you have to be quiet at all times. And that's what it means to be humble. No,
Mm,
sometimes it means that you're stupid. I'm sorry, or just being silly. But because you do not know, you mistake that for humility. No.
mm,
Humility means that you recognize that you are not there, you are not perfect, and you're willing to peak. That's what it means to be humble. You recognize that there's always something to learn. In just this few minutes of interaction, I've picked a lot of things from Simi, believe me.
mm,
And it starts with an open mind,
mm-hmm.
openness of being. So, how you receive information is very important. Also, you need to know your environment and understand those that you're dealing with. And when you need to speak up or speak out, you really do need to speak up or speak out. They say evil thrives when good men keep quiet. So, knowing when to speak is very, very important and is key.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Simi, please, can you throw some light in, on that question, and also
Yes.
share and express? Yeah. Thank you.
I agree very much with Funmi. I think she said a lot of what I was thinking to say. I think one critical mistake that young ladies make, like I said earlier, is wanting too much too soon. In my line of work, I work with a lot of young women in university, NYSC, and first early years of their career. And I see that there's this impatience. They want to have it all. They want to have the nice house, the husband, the children, the hair, the bag, the shoes. And it can put undue pressure that you don't need at an early stage of your career. At the early stage of your career, what you should be counting on is building the experience that will get you far, so that when it's time to negotiate the salary for a bigger job that will make you afford the car and the bag and the hair and the shoe and all that, you've earned it. You've earned it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very I know I keep saying it because it's something that I repeat a lot with my mentees, who, sometimes you'll be my mentee, you'll come in for a meeting and the phone you are carrying is even more expensive than your whole monthly salary. I'm like, why?
Mm,
Why do you have to have this phone right now? Why
mm,
do you have to carry this bag, have these shoes? Why not just invest in yourself at this point? The money you use to buy that phone, or even if it's somebody that gave it to you, that money you could tell them, please, can you invest it in a course that I want to do to
mm,
develop myself, as
mm,
opposed to carrying, so just really think about this stage as a stage to really invest in yourself, invest in your career, invest in your mind, in your brain, more than the outward parts. That will come. It will come, because at some point you'll be like Funmi, you'll be a big, CEO of a job, and then you have more than you need to actually look the part. But for now, when you're in your 20s, it's not the time to be thinking about those things. It's the time to really be working and getting the experience that will make people come for you for those types of jobs. So I think that's one big one. And then on your question about humility versus um, making sure people recognize you. One, your work will speak for itself. So when you really do great work, everybody knows it. Even within my team, I know who to go to for what. If
Yeah.
I want something done within 24 hours and done with minimal input, I know who to go to.
Yeah.
If I want something done that is about the flair of the marketing that will make the customer take us, I know who to go to. So you need to be known for something that this person, when she does a presentation, you won't need to edit it because her grammar is perfect. This person, if she crunches numbers for you, you won't need to edit it because her accounting is fantastic. This person, her marketing pitch, you need to be known for something. So this is the time to
Yeah.
not to really devote yourself to those things. And of course, don't let anybody else take credit. Don't be so humble that you let somebody else take credit for your work.
mm-hmm.
So that's where the timidity, humility. No, 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 no. This is the work you've done. Put your name on it so everybody knows this is your work. You've done it. And when appraisal time comes, fill it in. This is what numbers counts. Don't be vague about it. This is how much I brought in. This is how much I did. This is how much. And even on your resume, when you're looking for that next job, you've put in there solid achievements. Because of me, the company went from 100K to 200K in revenue, this and that, all of that.
Mm,
So you're not being arrogant. You're just
thank
stating
you.
fact.
Mm,
So
You know,
I
it,
think it's important that you develop that expertise and you're able to show it. Let your work show itself, so you don't have to brag. Your resume will do the bragging for you.
certainly,
I just want to
certainly.
add to what
Okay.
Simi said when she mentioned pressure. You know, young ladies tend to allow themselves to be pressured. Don't allow yourself to be pressured by anything.
Mm,
Don't feel that you are competing with anyone, not even with yourself.
mm,
Set your goals and work towards achieving those goals. Life is a process. You need to understand that life is a process. And so it's very important that you reduce the pressure you put yourself so that you can focus your attention on learning and on achieving those goals that you want to set, you want to achieve.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to go on quickly to the next question we have here. So everything is evolving. Women these days we have women who are more progressive. What are the realities of ladies today against 10 years ago? Probably the advice our parents would have given us, some years back. I'm sure it can't be those kind of principles. You can't work now. Okay, so what are the realities? Just looking at the environment, looking at culture, society, technology. What are the realities we have now as against probably 10 years ago? Maybe
Okay.
Fumi, can you go on with that, please?
Okay, I will start by saying that, of course, things have changed. The world has evolved. Everything has evolved. Some people say, good old days. Okay, no, I don't belong to that school of thoughts of good old days. I believe that these days are even much better than the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you why. First, there's been a lot of disruption. Two, because the world has become a global village. And three, we are able to achieve the world becoming a global village simply because we have social media. Why are we able to have this session today? Thanks to social media. And
Mm,
what has that done? It has actually thrown opportunities, limitless, endless opportunities. So, and the opportunities challenge us to look at our environment and to be more creative, to be more innovative, and to find our own space. So there's space for everyone.
mm,
You just need to learn. You need to be an avid reader, um, a hungry learner, someone who is very, very interested in making a difference. So there are so many advantages we have now, and even for young ladies to be entrepreneurs, to have their own thing going, and to continue to learn and continue to make their impact. Each time I go onto Instagram, I'm always amazed. I learn because you see a lot of young people, young ladies doing great things. This
mm,
didn't happen, it didn't exist 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
certainly.
so and so it tells you that honestly, for all of us, the space and the sky is no longer a barrier. Men are no longer a barrier. Culture should not deter us. It shouldn't be a barrier to us. We should just look for the opportunities that exist in the system and leverage on those opportunities. And that's my position.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Simi, please, can you respond to that question?
Yes, I agree with Fumi. I think that technology has created a lot of opportunities for us. Yes, technology has also removed a lot of jobs by automation, but then
Mm,
it just underscores the fact that, and I don't think enough women really pursue learning about technology. They think it's this hard thing, engineering. Not necessarily. It can be, I mean, it affords different opportunities. Even if what you want to be is a doctor or a lawyer, you still need technology to be able to diagnose the problem properly these days. As a doctor, you need, technology to research cases globally as a lawyer. So I would advise young women to really invest themselves in learning about technologies. And I really like Fumi's comment about the opportunities social media has created. There's so many businesses on Instagram now that Instagram makes it possible for them to connect directly to the customer. So they don't have to
mm,
go through a middleman. They don't have to have a distribution channel. All you have to do is put up your Instagram page and say, I'm in business. Even if you're a carpenter, look at the
mhm,
chair that I just put together today. And people can look at the chair and say, I want it, I want it, I want it. And you send it to the highest bidder. So there are so many opportunities that technology creates. I really do implore you to like Fumi said, be an avid reader and really explore the different ways. One of the things, we do a lot of programs in primary and secondary schools, and we tell them, the jobs that you're looking at today will probably not exist by the time you graduate university and you're ready to start working. So, what are the key things for you to develop? Key things for you to develop are the soft skills that are
Yeah.
transferable from one area to another. So, design thinking is a key um, uh, area that young people need to develop. What is design thinking? The ability to look at a problem and design a solution. It's just a
mhm,
fancy term for saying, okay, what are the ways we can brainstorm? we can develop a solution, we can prototype the solution, and we can test market the solution. That's essentially what design thinking is. And it's
Mm,
looking at people to say what is a new way to solve this problem or to meet this
mm,
need that people are not thinking about. If you're thinking about engineering, it's a better laptop. If you're thinking design thinking, it's an iPad. Because before iPad
mm-hmm.
came out, we didn't even know we needed an iPad. So what are those things that people need that they don't even know that they need? That's what design thinking does for you. So at whatever job is available when you get out of school, if you have the ability to think of solutions, everybody wants you. And you can demonstrate it in an interview. Everybody, critical thinking, communication skills, collaboration skills, teamwork. These are the things employers are looking for that will never go out of date. And so these are the things that you need to invest in now. How do I develop design thinking? How do I develop critical thinking? How do I develop, my improve my communication? Maybe you participate in your debate societies. Maybe you join Toastmasters, whatever it is. How do I give an effective presentation that will bring clients to the company? So these are the things that are more important now than 10 years ago, when it was about, oh, I want to go to law school, I want to go to medical school.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's all about the soft skills now, and the more you can hone those skills, the more desirable you will be to employers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, I was just smiling, when you gave that response because at Jobberman, that's currently what we're trying to, put out there. Soft skills. Yes, you have the technical skills, but these days we see that employers need people who can think.
Yeah.
You want people who can problem solvers. It's not
Yes.
about you can gather all the fancy certificates from north and south and east and west, but when it comes down to it, what can you do?
Yeah.
How do you relate? And everything you mentioned are curriculums and modules right off the Jobberman soft skills training. So
I
so
should
that's
come work
simply
for Jobberman.
yeah, thank you so much. That's simply amazing. And I hope our listeners can hear this, right? Soft skills, especially this post-COVID-19 era. And that's
Yeah.
actually brings me to my next question. What has this era of the pandemic? Yes, with the pandemic, people are thinking, oh, I've lost my job, I've done that, this, I don't know opportunities. But what advice would you give to people, this post COVID-19 period? What opportunities actually can we take out from this pandemic and to apply in our lives, our businesses, career? Let Funmi first go ahead with that question.
Okay. I will respond by sharing with you something that happened yesterday. And so I met this young man who had been seeking audience with me. He wanted me to advise him, and he approached me during the in the peak of the pandemic. This was in March. No, this was in April, and said he wanted to see me and that he needed my support in terms of advice. And I tried to interact with him remotely, but yesterday we had a physical meeting. But I'll tell you what happened in between. He had shared his business plan with me, and he wanted my input. He went on to provide a cash flow, and he segmented his ideas such that it could be scaled. And
Mm-hmm.
it was based on the interaction we had had, remote interaction we had had, that I requested for the meeting yesterday. But what struck me with him is the fact that he lost his job in the middle of the pandemic.
Mm.
And rather than stay home, he decided to get into a bit of agriculture. So he
Mm.
told me how he bought snails and he started to rear snails, and
Mm,
how snails matured. And in his estate, he just put it on their WhatsApp, and people started to demand for it. And
Wow.
he saw some viability there. The midst of this pandemic, he went
wow.
to IITA in Ibadan and he
Mm,
bought plantain seedlings
mm,
and he started to grow them.
mm,
So, seeing opportunities there, and he said to me, if he knew this all along, he wouldn't even have gone for a 9 to 5 job.
wow.
So I said, wow. I was so impressed because of the fact that he didn't stay there wallowing in self pity that he lost his
Mm-hmm.
job
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the pandemic, but he thought of what else he could do and how he could even scale his business. So what he's been doing now is to, one, find out where is demand. What
Mm.
are being demanded? How can he scale up? What would he require to scale up? And then how can he meet the demand? Then to share ideas. And that's what took him to me. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that in every situation, no matter how bad it is, there are always opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
But
Certainly.
the opportunities, they are called opportunities because they do never come in plain vanilla, the way you will see them and say these are opportunities. So you
Mm.
need skills to be able to distill the opportunities that exist in in the space. You need to be
Mm.
able to think. You need to be able to have what you call insight, depth of
Mm-hmm.
insight. Find out where do the opportunities exist. There are lots of opportunities in the digital space, I must say. And so the opportunities that even exist there are a threat to the normal businesses.
Mm.
Yes. So at this point is when you see the innate skills you have come out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so important that you do a lot of learning to, to be able to exhibit those skills. No one is looking for someone who's just going to be there, who is not agile, who cannot think
Mm-hmm.
of the future.
Agility. Mm.
No one is looking for someone who cannot think and solve problems, who can
Mm-hmm.
think of ways of navigating difficult situations. Also, yes, COVID, but are we going to now? We are lucky we haven't died. We're thankful to
Mm-hmm.
God. Life
Mm-hmm.
must go on. We must eat. We must develop ourselves. Life must continue. We must evolve. We must reinvent ourselves in this period. And so I say to the young ones, it's time to think. It's time to pick up new skills.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's time to think of creative ways by which we can become problem solvers to others and provide solutions to needs that exist in the
Mm.
environment. And these needs exist in every space you can think
Yeah.
of. That's the truth. And let me submit. Let me end by submitting that, as we say that some industries and some ecosystems are practically dead now, such as entertainment. You would also say some industries are just coming up. They're just
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
developing.
Mm-hmm.
Even entertainment that we're talking about, you need to see how entertainers have creatively used the digital space
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to still provide that sense of relaxation, of entertainment, of getting people to unwind.
Mm.
So, come on. Yes, there's COVID, but COVID has also brought unique opportunities with it. So we need to recognize those opportunities and take advantage of the opportunities and position ourselves to
Mm.
all. Yes, and that positioning is key. And you can only position yourselves when you've acquired those skills that you need to be relevant in future. So this is the time to take position to be
Mm.
relevant in future. And
Indeed.
that comes with learning, with acquiring new skills, and now
Mm.
allowing yourself to be transformed by the skills that you have acquired. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so profound, so profound. Simi, please let's hear your own take on that.
I think she said it all. I
Yeah.
agree 100% with everything she said, and I completely agree with looking out for the opportunities and really, one thing only thing I would add to that is also an opportunity to go back to school.
Yeah.
I agree with everything that Fumi has said, and COVID has opened up new things even for me in working from home and spending more time with my family. I've been able to even have conversations with them that I wasn't able to have before because I was always running out the house. So I think you know something that we as young women or professional women should think about is this could be an opportunity to go back to school, to, if you've lost your job and you're not able to get another one in this in situation where nobody is hiring, look at it as, okay, time for me to invest in myself. I've always wanted to do that masters. I've always wanted to do, and the good thing is because of COVID, everybody is putting their curriculum online, so you don't even have to travel out anymore.
Right.
Get a master's degree from Harvard now from your living room and stuff. So really just use this opportunity to look at different programs that you've always wanted to do and figure out how you can do them now during this slowdown in the economy, so that when the economy bounces back, you have new credentials that will even get you a better job than you had before. So, but everything else that she said, I agree with 100%.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, this is just so profound. This is so profound. I'm going to go into the comment section now. So,
Yeah.
can our back end person start flashing questions? Yes, we are. So I can see some questions from participants. Okay, so having a mentor, can I choose a man as my mentor? Okay.
I would say
Yes, that's the.
definitely yes.
Yeah. So, Simi, please just start off with the response for this,
Yeah, I
please.
mean, I've had some great male mentors, and I think it's good to always clarify some of these terms, because I work in coaching women, executive women, my coaching firm in New York. That's what we do, and we classify mentors in two ways. Like, you have a mentor and you have a sponsor.
Mm,
So a sponsor is somebody who is very high ranking within the company and takes a personal interest in making sure that you advance within the company. And those are typically men, because they are the ones in the I mean, now we have more women in executive positions, so that's great. But you might find a situation where your sponsor is a man and you develop I don't mean, inappropriate relationship. I mean a professional relationship where,
actually.
he takes a personal interest in mentoring you as you climb up the ladder. And this is somebody who's in the room when conversations are being had about who should be promoted to the executive position, who should be receiving a bonus or a raise. So you want to have a sponsor in that room, and typically they are men. So yes, definitely have, figure out somebody who is well connected within the firm that people respect and listen to, and develop a relationship whereby they know your vision for your career and they help mentor you so that you get there within the firm. Um, and then also, just in terms of my own personal experience, when I was at Goldman, investment banking is very male dominated, so my mentors were men. And I remember when I was thinking about leaving to come and do junior achievement in Nigeria, a lot of the women were telling me, "Are you crazy? Are you going to leave this, nice job, giving you a nice salary at, in your 20s, to go and do NGO work in Nigeria? Ha, Abacha just died, though. Nobody knows what's going to happen in that country and all of that." But it was the men that actually rooted for me and egged me on and told me to do it. And they actually wrote checks. I mean, I remember most of the partners at Goldman wrote $1,000 checks each then, which was, in 1999 was a lot of money. And they were the ones who really rooted for me and pushed me and said, just let us know what you need, what will help you from here. So definitely you can have mentors who are men.
Thank you. Funmi, do you have any take on that as well?
She said everything.
Okay, okay. We can go on to the next question. Can we flash the next question, please? Okay, I think you kind of answered this, but I'll read it again. Being humble and being assertive. I agree. How do you define humility? Okay, let Funmi, can you please answer this?
I think largely in the course of the conversation we've had, we've tried to define humility, and
Yes.
we did define humility as the art of being able to understand when to speak, when to react, and know how and what to say. And being conscious and open enough to understand that you can learn, you can observe, you can be you, you can be smart without thinking that you are the all in your conduct, in your behavior, and even in your disposition.
Mm. Thank you. I think that answers it. Yes. Let's have another question here. Does being humble apply to men as well? We see situations where qualified women are unable to negotiate a deserving salary, unlike male counterparts. So it will be great to define humility in a business context. Wow, that's an interesting one. Simi, can you go for this, please?
Yes. So when we say humility, it's not applied to negotiating your salary. Please do negotiate what is fair. But of course, you don't want to be too aggressive and putting people off in the way that you negotiate. But you also have to be able to demonstrate your value to the company and say, look, this is the value
Certainly.
I bring. This is the value. If it's a new job, this is the value I will bring. And I believe that I should be paid what I'm worth, whether regardless of my gender. Yes, men are more aggressive in negotiating, and so they tend to get more. So, but women need to, observe, do your research. What are people in the role getting? And then whether male or female, if this is what they're getting, then there should be no discounts. To me, we already know that as African Black women, there are three discounts to us in a global context. So you need to really fight against that, and it's something that I do. I just do research to figure out from people in the same position elsewhere. What are you making? What are you making? What are you making? And I would also appeal to women to be more open to ourselves, because we tend to be very secretive, and then it hurts us in the end. I
Mm,
remember when I was working at MTV Networks, and they were about to promote me from director to senior director, and they said, "Oh, this promotion is going to, my boss sort of accidentally let it slip that, oh, the promotion is going to be a big jump because you were already paid so low coming in." And I was like, wait, what did you just say? Because the way it was positioned to me when I was coming in, as if they're paying you all this money, you should be happy. And I found out, because they hired me from Harvard Business School, and I found out that the white boys they hired were paid at least $10,000 or $20,000 more than me, because I was a Black woman.
wow.
And so now I had to go from a band to another band. And so the jump to the next band was huge, because I was not so that really taught me that, okay, next time, go and ask other people
Mm-hmm.
that have received an offer, what are you getting? So
Mm-hmm.
you know that,
Some research. Mm,
exactly, do your research and make sure that you're not getting the short end of the stick.
mm. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Fumi, do you want to add any 2 cents to that?
Well, Simi has said almost everything. Just to reiterate the fact that in negotiating, you need to have done your homework. So
Certainly.
the first thing is you do your homework and you find out what are your peers earning, so that you have a good basis to negotiate. You also need to be able to prove your worth. So you need to be able to demonstrate that you are worth what you are asking for. And these are skills that go with getting the job.
Mm,
At the end of the day, you will not be unhappy or displeased with your employer simply because you didn't negotiate. So there's some work you need to do, and you need to do your part of the work.
mm. Certainly. Thank you so much. So let's take maybe like 2 more questions before we call it a day. My question is, how do you fend off the tendency for women to be assigned domestic chores by supervisor? Okay. I'm an executive assistant and I sometimes run some domestic errands for the executive I serve, which I don't mind because Okay, that question is not complete, but I think we've gotten the main bit of the question. How do you fend off the tendency for women to be assigned domestic chores? I guess she feels she's not, doing performing her main functions on that. Simi, do you want to go for that um, question, please?
I was hoping you would ask for me to go because she's she's grown up in the Nigerian corporate hierarchy, so she knows the culture and the way to avoid such things. Because I from my limited experience, I would say that you would you would have to definitely gently and firmly say no. But again, I don't know the culture in the Nigerian corporate
That is
hierarchy. So,
very good.
but
I
for me, please help me out here.
Okay, Funmi, please throw some light here.
Simi, I think you've touched on it. First, it's about the culture. So, what's the culture of the environment you are in? In a normal corporate setting, running errands for your executive female boss or your executive male boss really shouldn't be part of the process, even if you're an executive assistant. And if you are confronted with that situation, you need to know how to politely engage. And that's why I keep saying that sometimes you can be assertive without being rude
Mm,
to your boss. And then you have to also have to look for ways by which you manage it. In the sense that if you are except your boss wants to say that you should drop everything you are doing to deliver on deadlines and then go to run errands, and that is priority, then you should be able to, in a very creative manner, without being rude, make your boss understand that you have deliverables and you are running against deadlines that you ordinarily wouldn't mind, but you think you want to prioritize,
mm,
and maybe that will come later. You have to repeat that kind of scenario or sequence over time. I think that your boss will get the message.
mm,
And except, of course, your boss prefers you running errands rather than delivering on the job, and that speaks to the culture. So basically, everything comes back to the culture of the entity.
mm. Ah, thank you. That's actually hits the nail on the head. I mean, you should be offering value, and one thing you have to watch out for is if they feel you can be doing some domestic errands, are you really offering value to the organization, right? Okay, so you probably need to check yourself. Yeah. Okay, so let's probably take one more question. Hello, ma'am. Very enlightening. One, apart from the soft skills you mentioned, are there other skills we should look out to garner? As a student, can your mentor be a lecturer? That's the second question. I guess this is a three-in-one question. And the third one is, what if no one is rooting for your career goals and people around aren't really diving into that area? How do you upscale? Okay, so can we Simi, do you want to go for this? Should I go over the questions again?
No, I can see it on my screen.
Okay, you
Actually,
can see it.
I
Great,
can see
great.
it.
Mm.
So apart from the soft skill, are there other skills we should garner? Yes, I think we had talked about investing in technology because this is the way the world is right now. So the soft skills are great; they'll get you everywhere. But if there are courses that you can take in just things that will get you ahead, which wherever your career is. I don't want to be prescriptive in case your whatever job that you're doing is not related, but look at the technology that serves the sector that you're in and learn more about it. Try to take skills. So if you are in marketing, what are the tools that technical tools that people are using in marketing these days, so you don't find yourself outdated. If you are in accounting, what are some of the software that people are using and how can you get trained on it? If you are in web design, what is the new way to design web pages? Just whatever technology is serving whatever sector you are in, whether marketing, accounting, finance, all the different roles within corporations. really invest in looking at the technology that is the new cutting edge that will make you better in the job. So yes, technical skills are still as important.
mm,
We're just saying soft skills are more transferable from one job to another. As a student, can your mentor be a lecturer? Of course, especially if it is a lecturer that's had outside experience before coming into lecture. You find, especially in the private universities, that some lecturers, they've already done some work in business before they decided, you know what, I want to retire as a teacher, and then they come back and they lecture. So yes, your mentor can be a lecturer, but again, you have to make sure it's somebody that has skills that you need and are
mm-hmm.
looking to gain, and somebody who has time for you, and can really help you develop yourself. What if no one is rooting for your career goals and people around aren't really diving into that area? So then you need to develop your own ecosystem. I think that was actually one of the questions you had asked us to prepare before. Develop your own. So if people in your family are not rooting for you, get friends who, if your friends are not rooting for you, find other friends that, I have, several groups of friends that help me, that I take things to when I have career goals. There's a book called Leaning by Sheryl Sandberg. A group of friends and myself, we read the book together and we formed a Leaning circle. Sheryl Sandberg is the CEO of Facebook, and leaning was it's supposed to be for young ladies to lean into their career and figure out their way forward. And so we read the book together and we motivated each other on what should be our career goals and held each other accountable. So definitely, I would say that's something you can do. Form a group of progressive, career-minded friends and read a book together that can you can help to motivate you. So if there are not people around you, create your own ecosystem. You want to be around positive thinkers, career minded people, not, when are we getting that ashwabi to go to that next party? No, there's a place for that. But really, when you're thinking about career, have a group of people that you can count on to hold you accountable.
Thank you so much for that response. Funmi, do you have any 2 cents you would like to add to
Yes,
this
I
question?
do.
Okay, please go
Yes,
ahead.
I do. I just want to add to the first, the part A of the question, which Simi had talked a lot about, and that has to do with apart from technical skills and soft skills, there's something else employers look out for, and it's very important. I think that's cannot we haven't found ways by which we can measure it accurately, but you want to get a sense that people have that competence in addition to technical skills and soft skills, and they are called behavioral competencies.
Hmm.
That speaks to attitude, that speaks to behavior, that speaks to a can do, a will to do, a positive attitude, disposition, somebody who's willing to take on tasks that are not directly roles that have been assigned, someone who's
Mm-hmm.
willing to help team to achieve an objective, people who are willing
Mm.
to go the extra mile with a good and positive attitude, those who bring energy into an ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
So these are also attributes that I call them traits that you look out for that also give leverage, and that's why I said it's very difficult to evaluate, but there are things that actually add to what will take you there. So, and there's a saying that your knowledge can take you far,
Mm.
your attitude will take you there.
Hmm.
And that's the reason why they say
Certainly.
attitude is everything. Attitude determines altitude. So
Hmm.
anything related to attitude is a behavioral competence, and it's something that has to be part of you.
Thank you so much. In fact, this is a beautiful, lovely note to end. Your attitude determines your altitude. So, regardless of your technical skills, your soft skills, you need to come with the right attitude. And I'm sure we all have gotten so much from this conversation. Thank you once again, Funmi. Thank you once again, Simi, for taking time out from your busy schedule to be a part of us today. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate that. But I'm gonna allow you just give a final, just talk about something. You're talking to young ladies here. Just a final note. Anything you want to share with us? What are your final thoughts, final words of encouragement? Any young lady listening to this, what would you like them to know? Probably something you would have said to your younger self. Simi, can you just go ahead? Just a final note, final word of advice or encouragement. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I think we've spoken about a lot of things about career. So today I will end on the other thing that a lot of young women ask me about, which is about marriage. I think that you want to make sure, if you're not married yet, you want to make sure that you marry somebody that is just as supportive of your career as you are, or if not more. We end up marrying the wrong person, and sometimes messes us up. So just make sure you marry a feminist, marry somebody who really is rooting for you. I think somebody had asked a question about what if nobody around you is rooting for your career goals. Marry a man that is rooting for your career goals. Marry a man that pushes you to be your best self always, that is always rooting for you. I think when you do that, you really get, you you're already halfway there. If you have somebody that you're waking up with every day who's rooting for you, you're already halfway there. The sky is your limit. So I would say, young ladies, don't look for, the man that will buy me a wig or buy me this or buy me that. Find the man that will root for you so that you can achieve your best career goals and buy yourself that wig. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I'm sure everyone here is so filled with fresh ideas and insights. So, Fumi, please, can you just give us your own, last words here? Mm.
Okay, I'll just end by saying that you need to believe in yourself as a young lady. It's very important that you are your own number one cheerleader. You
Mm,
need to believe in yourself. You need to rely on good support. So seek good support.
mm.
Um, your support base will determine how fast and how well that you move. And you need to understand that you never ever give up, no
Mm.
matter what. Believe in yourself, rely on your support base, and get good support, and never ever give up.
Thank you so much. This has been an amazing session. I wish we could go on and on, but I'm conscious of time. I know we all have, different things we want to go, and I don't want to keep you here longer than necessary. But I hope if we call on you again, you'll oblige us, another opportunity to share from your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much, Fumi. We are happy to have you. Thank you so much, Simi. We are indeed grateful, for joining us in this session. Oh, thank you so much. And we have come to the end of this panel session, but I will just go ahead to talk about other Jobberman announcements. But once
Thank
again,
you.
thank you on behalf of Jobberman. I want to say very big thank you to you for being a part of this session. Thank you so much, Phoebe and
A
Simi.
pleasure.
Thank you very much. Do have a
Bye
nice
Thank
bye.
you
day.
for
Thank
thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank
So
you.
can we sign off or should we
Yes,
wait?
you can sign off now. I'll just go ahead with Jobberman announcements. Thank you. Oh, wow. This has been an amazing session, right? This has been a superb session. I don't know about you guys, though, but my head is just spinning and beaming with, so much information. This is great. And I can see somebody asking if they can have access to the video. This is a live session, so you can still come back to it and watch. So I want to encourage you to come back to this video even once the live session is ended and watch it again from the beginning. Perhaps you may have missed one or two things. You can always come back. Even share the link with your sisters, your aunties, your mom, your friends. Share this link, come back, because there's so much information, so much knowledge has been shared in this session. Okay, so please make sure you come back, and I'm sure Jabaman will also sponsor or boost this session, for people to be a part of it. But I'll just quickly take some announcements before we sign off. I want to encourage everyone to sign up on Jobberman. We have so many opportunities, so many job opportunities, but you can only have access to those opportunities if you are signed up on Jobberman. You have a profile. So please make sure you sign up on Jobberman. Okay, so also these are some of the opportunities we have. Repos Bay, and many others. We have students looking for agents, so many opportunities. Just go online, you're going to see various opportunities where you could sign up. There's so many opportunities out there. If you're looking for, and perhaps you're looking to even create your own opportunity, create your own business. You heard the story Funmi Omo gave about the young man who went into snail farming and is doing very well for himself. Please feel free to explore various opportunities out there, but make sure you sign up on Jobberman as well. Okay, then we have a virtual career fair coming up on the 30th of September. This career fair is open to those who have gone through our soft skills training. So please register. If you need some information about the soft skills training, please register. Or perhaps we have some employers here. You're looking to hire, candidates who have developed transferable skills, soft skills. This is the place to be. Send an email, reach out to us at connect@jobberman.com to be a part of this event as an employer. And also, probably if you're a student or if you've taken the soft skills training and you want to be a part of this event as well, please send an email to connect@jobberman.com. This is an online event. It's a virtual career fair. We're not gathering people into any hall or room, but we're going to have it in the virtual space. So please save the date and make sure you're a part of this. Okay, what else do we have here? Certainly we have free job listings for our employers. If you're looking to hire, probably you're just starting your business, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're looking to hire candidates, we have free basic listings for you. Just reach out to Jobberman. We'll put up your job listings for free and you will have access to our qualified candidates, our champions. We call our soft skills trainees our champions. Okay, so just do not hesitate. Make sure you reach out to us. All right, and just to quickly mention, you heard the talk about soft skills, right? Simi really gave some deep insight into soft skills training. So if you're looking to develop your soft skills, please make sure you join the Jobberman soft skills training. Just go on the website, just go on Jobberman, www.jobberman.com/soft skills, and you can register to be a part of the soft skills training. We talked about design thinking, we talked about critical thinking, effective communication, emotional intelligence. Funmi Omo talked about emotional intelligence. These are the skills that will make you stand out, that will set you apart from others. These are the skills that will make you valuable to your organization. So please make sure you register for the Jobberman soft skills training. Feel free to reach out to us on the youth engagement website. Send us an email at connect@jobberman.com. You can reach out to us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We are accessible. We are happy to talk, to speak with you or answer any questions you may have. Okay, I think we have come to the end of this session. In fact, this has been amazing, super amazing. Please, let's keep this interaction going. Engage with us. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can send us an email or the connect@jobberman.com, or even in the chat box here. We're happy to engage with you. If you have even if you have personal experiences you want to share, please share your experiences. This is as a women only group, right? Let's be our supporter. Let's cheer each other on. Okay, if you have wins you're looking for people to celebrate with you, please feel free to share your wins here. We are ready to support you. We're ready to stand behind you. We will lean into each other. Okay, so this has been an amazing session. I hope we'll see everyone here again when we come live next month. We have a live event. We host a live event once every month, and even in between, we hope to increase the engagement in the group. If you have suggestions and ideas on how we can improve engagement, or what you would like us to do, what you like to see in this group, please feel free to share your ideas in the group, and we'll certainly look into it. Thank you once again. My name is Chidima Iheanacho, and I am certainly excited I got the opportunity to host this live event. I look forward to interacting with and engaging with everyone same time next month. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye, guys.